So we might have the moon entering Aquarius, and of course Aquarius is being unique, original, and of course fixed when it comes to the way they think and being unique. Also, it's going to put you into a situation of a misunderstanding right here, because one, Sun is a Virgo, so that's all about analytical details, and of course being practical, and of course being consistent with a routine. Now you already know moon in Aquarius not going to really pretty much cater to that routine, cater to that mundane perspective. So they're going to pretty much want to break out of this sequence. So of course, it's going to be some misunderstandings, things that we pretty much do on a day-to-day basis or a routine, maybe basically out of tact. And of course, we may not even want to be basically doing that. We may be basically coming up with different situations or finding new ways to be thoughtful and practical when it comes to thinking outside of the box. Also, it's going to put us into situations of dealing with misunderstood concepts with individuals or individuals coming off. So this can be times where things can pretty much be a little bit different. Things can pretty much cater in a different perspective or a different angle. So of course, it's going to be some mix and mingling right here, because it's going to be an earth and the air. And you know, earth needs sense. Earth needs things to make sense and of course be reasonable. But when air is here, air is pretty much left, right. But of course, it's going to create a grand trine, because we got the North Node in Gemini, which is being curious and thoughtful about your experiences and being aware, and of course adapting to new ways of being changeable and mutable when it comes to the way we interact and of course deal with our social status. We also have Mars in Libra, which is being passionate towards collaboration and of course relating in a harmonious stage. Then we're going to have Saturn in Aquarius, then Jupiter in Aquarius, of course the moon about to be in Aquarius. So this is going to be a situation where we're going to be experiencing innovative perspectives, and of course we're going to be putting restrictions and boundaries on certain places or certain areas. These are what you're going to experience. Of course, you may experience boundaries and restrictions when it comes to the way you think, communicate, analyze, and of course your details and how you want to be practical in this manner. This is where you're going to be experiencing these areas. But of course, this is a grand trine to use your mind towards what you are pretty much catering towards to. And of course, you need to be reacting, responding to a group, building a group, and of course coming together, because of course if you ain't coming together at this point, shit is not going to work out for you in an independent manner. Yeah, it may work out, it's you having an independent mind, but of course you need a person or someone that you can relate to, bring that idea together and of course harmonize with it. And that's the only way you're going to be basically out here manifesting. But if you really think you're going to be out here trying to make moves and shit on your own, this shit will not work at this perspective, because you need someone to basically connect with and strive with and, of course, bring that equilibrium together. So, yeah, you also got Mars in Libra. You also got North Node in Gemini. You also got the moon in Aquarius. You also got Jupiter in Aquarius. You also got Saturn in Aquarius. So, of course, there's a whole lot of shit going on with the air quality right now. So, of course, it's a good time to basically aim towards that, harness that, and, of course, plant good seeds. Now, if you planted horrible seeds, you're going to be experiencing some limitations and boundaries when it comes to your fruits growing, or experiences of playing catch up right now. Now, if you experience the positive trait, then you're going to be expanding and, of course, experiencing new freeness. And, of course, Jupiter want to be free. And, of course, it will be free, being that it's not a no placement with Saturn when it comes to restrictions and, of course, the degree angling. So, of course, it's like pretty much it's still in that space, but it's not too much condensed or contaminated, almost to the point where things is going to get out of control. So, yeah, it's a good time to basically, start getting situated when it comes to forming a group that you can come with, or pretty much having ideas and concepts where you can come together and bring this together with somebody that you can relate to. So, yeah, this is what it's going to be pretty much about. But we're going to run this down. And, of course, tomorrow, the moon will be going to Aquarius. Then it'll be going to Pisces. And of course, we got the full moon in Aries. And then the shit is going to be all over again. So it's a good time to start planting good seeds. And of course, the shit that moon in Aquarius love is having a unique idea, having its own mind, and of course, coming together, bringing a group where they can pretty much connect with, of course, being alienated at times, but having an alienated mind. Of course, having an out-of-the-box mind, and having a perfect frame when it comes to communicating. So yeah, wherever you have Aquarius at, you're going to be experiencing boundaries, limitations, and restrictions, or you're just going to be experiencing things when it comes to your environmental stage too. So yeah, now if you have this in your if you have Aquarius in your first house, you're going to have opportunities to be eccentric and experience personal affairs, or this pretty much going to be personal associations right now. You're going to have personal associations all over the place. You're going to be having personal associations with many people of different perspectives. See, the thing is, what's going to have issues here is if having a fixed basis on basically building with this person or this individual. You're going to have issues when it comes to acquaintances or pretty much building with individuals. Feel me? Because you're going to be all over the place. Experiences are going to come here and there. You're going to be trying to build stages or build a connection with people, but there's always going to be a new connection over here and another connection over there. So you need a practical plan. Feel me? You're going to also be experiencing some new discoveries with your personal affairs and your personal life. But you need a practical plan when it comes to your personality. And of course, you need to set boundaries and restrictions when it comes to not being unpractical. Because if you're not practical in these areas with your personal life, then there's nothing going to be able to build. And of course, Aquarius is fixed. So there's going to be a fixed way of doing things in your new perspective and cardinal manner. Also, if you got this in your for the Aries Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, you guys are going to have opportunities for new gifts, conflicts, or past passions or past experiences popping back up. Now, if you got this in your second house, see, it falls here. So it's pretty much the practical plan is asleep here. So you're gonna be valuing your social possessions right now, or communicating about these things. So you can put yourself in situations of experiencing past experiences, past enemies, past jealousy, or you can have an evil mind during this time. Because this can put you into situations where you can pretty much been too helpful for individuals, or you can be attracting this, or you may be giving this off during this time. But you're gonna be experiencing some issues here, some crazy issues. So be very careful. Feel me? It may took so much time for this energy to basically be pent up, almost to the point that you're ready to scar or kill a motherfucker at this point. So even if somebody look at you crazy right now, you might kill them. So be very careful in this area. You can you're going to be experiencing boundaries and limitations when it comes to the things you value. You'll be valuing the wrong things, valuing the wrong people, but you're going to be experiencing things when it comes to the things that you value or associate in your values. Also, with the third house, you're going to be now. This is going to be a gift here, but you're going to have the gift to be outspoken, communicative, and of course out there. But you can be very superficial due to you having many ways of being fixed in your own way of being feeling and seeing about your communication skills with your environment. You're gonna have limitations and restrictions when it comes to your environmental perspectives if you planted bad seeds. But you can be very scattered minded. Your environment gonna be scattered. It could be all over the place. Try to get deeply rooted into like looking at the bigger picture and not being too superficial. And then you'll be out of these areas. Taurus is going to be dealing with some conflicts. Taurus need to learn how to think outside the box with their practical issues. Gemini is going to have a gift to talk and think about spirituality. If you got Aquarius in the fourth house, you're gonna be dealing with private associations right now. People that you privately associate yourself with. Now this can be situations where this is going to be a situation where things are going to be blocked for me. You're going to have issues with family during this time, with caring and loving at this perspective. Family might be a limitation. Family might be basically putting restrictions in front of you. So what you need to do right now is take your mind off of family and get on your social status. And of course, think outside of the box. Try not to get too catered in these areas, because you could be experiencing some blockage when it comes to your families and the way you relate to them during the time. Or you may be switching things up, or you may be trying to switch things up. Also, for Cancers, you're going to have misunderstandings when it comes to the way you love and nurture and care and power control issues. You got this in your fifth house. This is going to be situations where you're going to be relating towards your association right now. See, now, this is going to be, I'm bugging. What the fuck am I talking about? The fifth house. This is going to be association creativity. For me, you're going to be talking about your creativity right now. So this is going to be a situation where you could be very corruptive during this time. And of course, you can fall here too. Fall real hard here, because it's going to be hard for you to relate to individuals. You can experience some enviness, some jelliness, or some pettiness, pushing this out or receiving these things, because you may have received a whole lot of attention, or someone else may have received a whole lot of attention. And it's very hard to confuse in these areas, so you can be experiencing these situations. Try to bring balance to the situation, bring love to the situation. You'll be all right. Now, Leos, you're going to be experiencing some opposite energies, giving or receiving. Also, if you have this in your sixth house, you're going to be associating yourself with your duties in your work right now, and your health. There's going to be situations where work and health, you may be pretty much in a situation of being very solitude or separating from things that you do on a day-to-day basis. thinking deeply in solitude. Try to take your responsibilities serious. You may have limitations and boundaries with your health during this time and shit like that. And of course, Virgo is going to have misunderstandings when it comes to their illusions or their routines. You're going to be thinking, you're going to have misunderstandings when it comes to being thoughtful and practical in these areas. 7th house, you're pretty much going to be relating with your associations during this time. See, this is going to be a situation where you may be very celibacy or trying to harmonize and relate to a spiritual partner or someone that can pretty much uplift you or expand you and shit. You may not try to, like, you may just separate yourself right now when it comes to experiences, but you're going to have limitations when it comes to your relationships and boundaries in that area if you're planting bad seeds. Also, 8th house, you're going to be associating and socializing about your desires and shit right now. You could be very ambitious and very guilt. You're going to be dealing with some guilt, past guilt too. You're going to have limitations and restrictions and boundaries when it comes to your desires and shit. And that matter if you plant bad seeds. But in this area, you need to talk more and socialize yourself. And of course, you're going to be experiencing some situations when it comes to your desires. Libras, you're going to have a gift to relate and harmonize when it comes to you. You're going to have a gift to be passionate and relate in a harmonious manner. Scorpio is going to have conflict when it comes to power and control issues, when it comes to their desires, or talking about these things. When it comes to Sagittarius, you guys are going to be associating with your experiences right now. So, this means that these experiences, you can put yourself into situations of having guilt or worrying about the wrong things and shit. Or you may have limitations when it comes to your experiences right now, for me. Try not to put yourself into that situation, for me. You can be very self-doubtful, thinking about failure. What you need to do is have some faith, have some courage, and not think about the past and shit, for me. Expand, and you'll be out in these areas. Also, try not to put yourself into situations of looking outside yourself for help or asking for individuals for help, because of course you can lose yourself into this area. For me, you can be very preachy and teachy and things that matter, but of course, preach, practice, make perfect in these areas, and you'll be out. Also, when it comes to the 10th house, Sagittarius, you're gonna have opportunities to expand above your horizon or stay stuck in the past. Now, if it comes to the 10th house, you're going to be associating about your status right now. I mean, you can be living a double life standard right now. You could be very serious, very strict with your upbringing, of course, how you associate your status quo. So you could be very restrictive with individuals or be very strict. And of course, it can put you into situations that are karma or past karma and things that matter with individuals that you pretty much dealt with. It could be some enviness and jealousness going on right now. Be very careful. Also, if you got this position right here, you are going to be seeing the other side, Capricorn, someone seeing the other sides of taking power, control over the way you think, communicating, of course, associate yourself. The 11th house, public association. So you can be very determined in this area, very gifted, of course, very passionate. Now, if you're planting bad seeds, you're going to have limitations and restrictions when it comes to the public and how you're seen and how you're known. It's also going to put you in situations of trying to get away from individuals or ghosting individuals. But of course, you're going to have a group to support you. But you're going to be experiencing some boundaries and restrictions when it comes to your group if you plant the bad seeds. Now, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, you guys are going to have the cup in your hand. Feel me? The cup in your hand. So either drink good or drink bad. You can become drunk or you can set boundaries when it comes to the public. But the cup is in your hand right now. And last but not least, for all the Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, you guys are going to be basically dealing with some, I'm bugging right now. I kind of skipped the 12th house. 12th house, this is going to be pretty much talking about your dreams. This is going to put you in situations where you're going to either be experiencing or receiving or pushing off enviness, suspiciousness, and of course, deeply rootedness when it comes to your emotional natures and how you associate yourself or how you pretty much particulate yourself when it comes to your dreams and fantasies. You could be experiencing misplacements with individuals or misplacements with your dreams and shit. You could be all over the place. You could be very stubborn and shit like that. So try not to do that. Also, this is going to put you into a situation where you could be, for Taurus, you guys are going to be dealing with some conflict when it comes to your thinking the practical natures. You're going to be dealing with some conflict during this time. For me, what you need to do is focus on your gift, focus on you, and let other individuals be them. For me, just know when to separate at times and know when to, be there when it's needed. But individuals can be using you too, so be aware of that shit. And that's going to be pretty much the energy for tomorrow. Plant good fucking seeds.